messages because we have a real mess here. There's 2 terminated employees from your department still drawing checks.
You owe me 3 months.
I don't owe you. I owe Danielle.
Do you need money? It's a serious crime. It's not as serious as you might think.
What are you thinking?
Don't ask, don't tell.
It's a jewelry store, a mom and pop operation.
You ain't never done this before.
Get a gun. You get a toy gun.
There's no shooting.
You do the driving, I do the tape.
Right. Stewart.
She's what, 60, 70?
Don't touch anything. Don't say anything.
Is blind as a bat? Look at me. Blind as a bat. Easiest money well we get.
That's Mom and Dad's story. It just came apart. What am I gonna do? I'm in serious trouble.
Do you realize that I've been having an affair? So can I help you to seconds? Are you gonna get angry?
How are we gonna fix it? Are you gonna get tough? You gonna hurt me? My God, Andy. Are we good? I don't think so, no! Shut up! It's too late to think. This is our future. We can do it. We can do it. Anybody can.
Hey there, welcome back to Dave's Movie Diary. Today I'm going to be talking about Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, a film that came out in 2007. I saw it back in the day, probably a year later, and I don't recall too much about it. There's good reasons for that. Look, my kids were really young. I think my son would have been about 2.5. My daughter was about 1. I wasn't sleeping that much. I was in a new job. I was in a pretty new city. Life was very unstable in its own way. I really didn't have the mental space to sit fully with a film like this. So that's why I don't remember too much about it. I just remember it being pretty good. So I thought it was time for a rewatch. And I'll tell you what I think. What's the film about? Well, what do you need to know? It's directed by Sidney Lumet, a legend. It's starring Philip Seymour Hoffman, legend. Ethan Hawke, legend. Albert Finney and Marissa Tomei, both legends. So there's a lot going for this film already before it starts. At its core, it's about 2 brothers, Hoffman and Hawke. They plan a robbery of their parents' jewelry store. It's pretty straightforward. They think it's going to be easy to pull off. They are desperate for different reasons. And so they see this as an easy solution to their problems. It's going to be a victimless crime. Insurance will come in, pay for everything. So clean, controlled. Of course, nothing goes to plan. And I won't spoil it too much what happens, but let's just say everything collapses. And from then on, it's about survival, basically. There's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of people doing extraordinary things, both good and bad, learning a lot of lessons. It's a great ride. So let's talk about a few things about it. Like I said, it was directed by Sidney Lumet. This was his last film, as it turned out. He made it when he was 83 years old. I can't believe that. An 83-year-old made this film. It still blows my mind. Normally, someone at that age, or even, 10 or 15 years before that, has lost touch with, not reality, but lost touch with the culture as it is in that moment. And for someone his age to put together something like this, which feels so cutting edge, it hasn't really aged. And it still feels sharp and modern, immediate. That's the word I'm looking for. Is incredible. He had a fantastic career, going all the way back to the 50s with films like 12 Angry Men, legendary courtroom drama. Another one that stands out was The Pawnbroker with Rod Steiger in the mid-60s. That's worth checking out. But then in the 70s, he had a run, Serpico, Dog Day Afternoon, and Network. He peeled those off in 3 years. 3 bona fide classics, 2 with Al Pacino. Network stands alone as an entertaining film that also shows the dark side of the capitalist society. What else did he do? Oh, a little film in 1982 called The Verdict, which is an absolute at least a 9.5 out of 10 banger. Q&A in 1990, shouldn't forget that one. Great Nick Nolte performance. And then he finished off with this one in 2007. Director obsessed with institutions under pressure, moral collapse, corruption, dialogue. Dialogue's the key. So all his films have great dialogue, set pieces, and scenes between actors where performance and dialogue holds the key. Now, I do want to talk about some of the performances in this, as usual, but in this one particularly. Philip Seymour Hoffman, look, he's no longer with us, obviously. He passed away in 2014. I think you can make a strong case that he's the best actor of his generation, coming after De Niro and then Daniel Day-Lewis. I think it's pretty easy to make that case. Yes, people like Ed Norton made a case for a while, but I think over the length of his career, the chances he took, the range that he showed, he's the actor of his generation. And this is one of his most disturbing performances. And that's saying something when you look through his catalogue. He's played pedophiles. He's played just some obscene human beings. He's played some very tender and naive people as well. This one, he's such a manipulator. His character, Andy, is the older brother. He's very intelligent. He knows that. It's controlled. He's addicted to his own sense of superiority. He thinks that he's been gypped in life. He thinks that he should be doing so much better, and it's for circumstances out of his control, so he's not happy where he's landed. He's aware that his wife, played by Marissa Tomei, is a total smoke show, and really he's losing her, or he's lost her, and he needs one big play to pull off a score or have a lot of money come in so that they can get back to Rio, which is where the film kicks off. They're in Rio on a sort of second honeymoon, trying to rekindle their marriage. So he's desperate, and he's doing some dodgy things at work, and he comes up with this idea, and he gets his little brother to do the grunt work, to take the risk, actually. And so he manipulates his little brother. And watching this performance, it's obvious that this character really doesn't love anyone. He just wants control, and he wants power. And I think he shows us these wounded characters so brilliantly. He finds that inside. So it's an incredible performance, and just goes to show what a loss he is. Ethan Hawke, totally different energy. A great actor too. One of the best still going around. A true artist. Not just acting, he's into lots of things. He's a creative spirit. Anyway, in this one, he plays Hank as someone constantly out of his depth. He's a loser. He's lost his marriage. He's rapidly losing his teenage daughter. He's got financial demands in a different way. He just wants to get back to a normal life where his daughter can be proud of him and get his wife off his back. She's driving him crazy. So he's more relatable and needy, reactive. He's always been under the thumb of his older brother, desperate for approval, everyone's approval. In this one, he feels weak or frustrating at the start, but then towards the end, he learns a lot, this character, and he stands up for himself, makes some tough decisions, and Ethan Hawke displays that brilliantly. And I felt quite sad about his character, probably more than I did on the first watch when I wasn't able to pay enough attention to this. So glad I rewatched it. Albert Finney, he's devastating in this one. He's the father, the patriarch of the family. It's his jewel store that gets robbed, and he spends most of the movie trying to uncover the truth of what happens. He can't work it out, and we know that his sons have pulled off the robbery, and we're watching him getting closer and closer to discovering that. He displays grief incredibly in this film, but he also is able to show a few things just below the surface, and they're wanting to break out. Rage, revenge, and as the film goes on, those two emotions take precedence over the sadness from what happens in the robbery. He's not theatrical in this, not loud, just really weighed down, and you can tell that the revenge aspect is all that's keeping him going, and it's a great performance. Marissa Tomei, I've always been a huge fan of her ever since I saw My Cousin Vinny in '92 with Joe Pesci, where she got the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, and I feel like she could have easily had a bigger, flashier career by choosing blockbuster films. I'm sure she must have got offered quite a few, but I love it when she pops up in films like this at this point of her career. She still brings that charisma, and she looks fantastic, and she's got that relatability, that down-to-earth aspect. Like other actresses, maybe like Jennifer Aniston, she doesn't appear unattainable like a Angelina Jolie or Michelle Pfeiffer used to be. She dresses down, but she's someone that you'd love to meet at a barbecue, and she'd fit right in, drinking beers out of the can. And she's perfect in this. I can see why, in different ways, both of the brothers make some crazy decisions because of her presence. So another great performance from her. She showed up again a year later in The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. And again, it made you sit up and realize, where's she been? What's she been doing? Why isn't she in these roles more often? She's one of my favorites. Other things to talk about with this, the look and the tone of the film. It's totally drained of warmth, and it's really designed to show you the desperate situation that this family finds themselves in. It's shot in New York, but it's shot in it's in a small part of New York. It's all controlled, like most Sidney Lumet films. It's not expansive in terms of the story or the complications or the geographic distance. It's all in and around these back alleys and grittier, grungier parts of inner New York. Everything looks and feels muted. The tones, the greys, the browns, lots of beige interiors, flat light. Not a lot of visual comfort here. Even the daylight feels neutral rather than alive. It's all like you've woken up with a hangover kind of look. And that matches the emotions perfectly. Nothing in this film ever feels stable or safe or warm. Everything's on shifting ground, transactional. And that's a deliberate choice, obviously, from Sidney Lumet. And it really paints that visual picture perfectly for what's unfolding before us. So what struck me this time around, I think when I thought back on this film, although I couldn't remember too much about it, I just remember it being more a conventional film, being good. But now watching it, I'm 20 years older, been through what you'd expect, raising a family, and I look at it now more as a family drama, a family collapsing. Back then, I think I would have seen it more as a heist film and the aftermath, which it is. But I think from my lens now, I can see that family imploding and how that affects every member differently, and the choices that leads to. And it's interesting to watch these damaged people all trying to get ahead of each other, and what that leads to. So I think summing up, what struck me this time is how small and pathetic a lot of the decisions feel in hindsight, and it's not a cinematic experience at all. It's really a human drama. It could have been like on a stage, really. It's mainly the dialogue that drives the whole film. There's only the one real action, or couple, maybe one or two real action scenes, the heist, and one or two later in the film, where it gets beyond the really tight dialogue. And honestly, the way Sidney Lumet does dialogue, that's enough. So look, it's not an enjoyable film in any traditional sense. You won't sit down and just switch off and be entertained. It's pretty bleak. It's very controlled, and it's a bit morally suffocating, but it's really precise. It's spot on. It's realistic and thought-provoking, disturbing. I think now, years after first seeing it, I can appreciate what Sidney Lumet was doing with this far more than I did before. I gave it the concentration that it deserved on this rewatch. And look, it just feels like a film made by someone who understands human weakness completely and doesn't soften it. He just lays it out for you, no judgments, and lets these performers cook with the great dialogue that's been provided. So I can definitely understand it a lot more now on the rewatch. So I'm glad I checked it out, and can highly recommend the film. But just be aware going in, it's really it really needs a bit of work by the viewer, and not for something to watch if you're already feeling a bit down. So save it for when you're ready, and then give it your attention. And I think it's worth the ride. Anyway, thanks for listening this time, and I'll catch you later.